All right. Welcome in H-Town. You are now tuned in to The Solid Grip, coming to you live at 5, no time for jive. I'm your host, J.R. Wilson. Alongside me, my co-host, Ping Wilson. And man, do we have something to talk about today. Y'all keep your ear tuned to what we got to talk about. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. We have to unpack this whole thing that's going on in the world of sports directly pointed and aimed at our Houston Texans. We gonna do so right after this here. All right, again, man. We got so much to do. Pop, how you doing over there, man?
Doing great, Rich.
That's good. That's good, Pop. I know. Um, I don't know if you've had the opportunity to hear what's going on. I'm pretty sure that you have. I'm sure anyone who keeps their ear to the streets when it comes to the world of sports has heard what's going on in the city of Houston right now. It's already been a mess in the city. We've already called, as Apollo 13 did, Houston, we have a problem. That's been going on between the Texans, between the Rockets and the Astros. But right now, the Texans are highlighted in a major way. Deshaun Watson is unhappy about what's going on with this current organization that's called the Houston Texans. And that, my friends, is a major, major problem. Before we get started, y'all see what's on the bottom of the screen. Like, subscribe, comment, and share this link with your people, with your partners, with your family. I got my mic up too high. All right, let's adjust. All right, there we go. So, yeah, man, we are in a place right now we don't want to be in. I don't know how on God's green earth we got here, but we are here nonetheless. And we got to talk about this, Pop. And let's do that, man. First off, I just, I cannot believe out of all the things that the Texans have done, this is the one thing that they should never get wrong. And that's making sure that Deshaun Watson is happy. He's the most important person in that building, Pop. There's none other more important to him, not even Cal McNair, the owner, Pop. Do you agree or disagree with that statement?
Totally disagree. I mean, totally agree, Rich. My bad. Even the once face of this team, J.J. Watt, recognizes that, and he pays Deshaun Watson his homage, man. And so, it's unfortunate. Yeah, I've heard about some of it. I haven't heard about everything that's going on. I was at work today when the press conference was going on. I got a chance to listen to a little bit of it, but what I heard, I did not like, man.
Yeah, man, it's all bad, Pop. It's all bad. And you know what? We're gonna get straight off into this thing, y'all. We're gonna play some clips of some of the things that I highlighted in the press conference. The press conference was really long, it was almost 45 minutes long. But there are some key things I think needed to be highlighted and things that we need to discuss here on this show. So let's do that really quickly. I'm going to share the screen so that people can see and hopefully can hear what has to be played here. Okay, so y'all bear with me as I do this because man, we are just, it's crazy right now. Okay, Pop, can you see that on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Pop. Oh, you can see it? Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So I'm going to play back 10 seconds. You can see it? Okay. So I'm going to play back 10 seconds just to make sure you can hear. And just tell me if you can hear when I play it.
Football League. He has over 20 years of experience building and
sustaining
championship level teams and is committed to winning.
All right. Now, we're about to start right here, okay? We're gonna listen to this little audio right here. Then let's discuss this, y'all. Let's look at this. Let's break this down.
Nick is intelligent, an incredibly hard worker, and believes in doing things the right way. That, among so many other reasons, is why he is here today. I've come to understand that it's been reported that Deshaun feels left out of the process. That he and I had several visits, and I understood his point of view before meeting with candidates. I've reached out to Deshaun about Nick's hire, and I look forward to him getting back to me when he returns from his vacation.
So to me, that means one thing, Pop. That means that you ain't talked to him. That's what that means. You haven't even
Right.
had a conversation with him. You know why you haven't had a conversation with him? Because he's not answering your phone calls, Cal McNair.
Exactly.
Why is he
Exactly.
not answering your phone calls? Because he don't want to hear none of this garbage y'all talking about. Now, Pop, I thought it was extremely funny that he mentioned Deshaun Watson. I just want to play this one more time. Let me play this back one more time, just 10 seconds prior.
Okay.
Before meeting with candidates, I've reached out to Deshaun about Nick's hire, and I look forward to him getting back when he returns from his vacation.
That's very clear to me, Pop, that you reached out to him after you had already made your decision. Now, there had to been some type of verbal agreement that happened behind closed doors betwixt the two of them. Deshaun had mentioned this in the media, somewhat ambiguous like, but obviously there was a conversation that took place between him and Cal about what direction they wanted to go in. Okay. But Pop, to
Right.
me, this sounds like a bunch of hogwash, and it sounds like he ain't even talked to the man.
What has happened, Rich, is Cal either went to Deshaun. I think what happened was Deshaun went to him and said, "Hey, man, if you don't mind, I'd like to be in on some of this decision making. Hey, when you get to the final case stuff, I'd like to maybe interview him or talk to him, or I know I can't make a decision and stuff, but hey, I got a couple guys in mind that I have a lot of respect for, and I know you don't have to interview them, but if you don't mind, I'd like for you to interview them." And instead of doing that, what he did was this decision made a couple years ago. Oh, the
Yeah,
new GM is going to be okay. All that formality of Lewis Riddick and all those guys and stuff, they did that because of the Rooney Rule. Okay, you and I thought that there was
right.
a possible chance that they may hire a minority and get a third round pick. Okay, that was never in the making. Nor will it. Will I don't think it'll be a minority head coach. But let's move on. Okay, so what you do is, if I tell it to Deshaun, if I mention it to Deshaun, you knew Deshaun was going on vacation.
Right.
He more or less, the audience know what he's doing, where he's going, and so you say, hey, let's make this move real quick and stuff, and Deshaun is a good old colored boy, and he'll be okay and stuff. No, different time, different year, different decade, guys. Listen to my white friends out there, and I got a lot of them. There's a change, guys. Since George Floyd was killed, there is a change. Okay, the congressman from Georgia who just lost her Senate race and stuff, she was also a WNBA owner. Okay,
Right.
one of the reasons that she lost is not only because of Stacey Abrams got out there and politicked her butt off, but the players in the WNBA got in places like Columbus, Atlanta,
Yeah.
Savannah, which are predominantly black communities and stuff, and they campaigned their butt off. Okay,
Right.
and so listen, you lied to it. You lied to Deshaun, and now you're trying to sweep it under the rug like, hey, I'm looking forward to getting back. Listen, man, the message, he may not even talk to you again. Okay? He may
Right.
talk to you through his agents and stuff, but it's obvious that he wanted every enemy interviewed. That's not gonna happen. So unless you or if it happens, you maybe do a thought. You can't throw these young brothers no bone. They
Right.
know the power that they got, and they're gonna use it. And so I really think it's a bad situation. I don't know if it's see, but you're not gonna just throw this no bone and stuff and like, hey man, everything's okay, everything's good, because it's not good. It is definitely not
Right.
good.
It's not good at all, Pop. I could not agree with you more than that. And man, I just hope that this does not come to where I think it's gonna come to. The worst possible scenario. And we're gonna talk about that. But let's get more into this. Let's get more into this, man, and break this down a little bit more. And if y'all bear with me one more time, man, I'm new to this, but I'm gonna be true to this. All right, let's listen to it more.
We thank the other candidates who interviewed in this process. We had a terrific list of qualified candidates and learned a lot about our organization by talking to them.
Yes. First of all, this fiasco with you bringing in all these black people that can possibly be general managers was a whole charade, man. I mean, fugazi,
That's all it
falsehood,
was.
fallacy. That's all it was, so that you could go by the Rooney Rule and get all these black folk in here, and you can't never say you didn't follow that rule, you didn't follow the protocol that's been implemented into NFL teams. Again, bone throwing. Again, the mentality that he's just completely unplugged, man. He is completely unplugged. You knew you wanted this guy. You knew you wanted this guy before you got anybody. You had him in mind, but you had to bring those guys in. But why you can't just be honest and say, look, we had to bring the guys in. If I would have found a guy that was better than the guy that I had in mind, that's what I would have did. This whole fiasco, bringing these guys in here, that's a bunch of hogwash, Pop. I don't feel no other way about it. Yeah.
You know what I would
So
have done, Rich? I would have got one of the custodians at the stadium who was African American and brought him in and said, "Listen, man, I got to interview a black. So I know you can't get this job, but I'm gonna interview you anyway. Hey, man, at
yeah,
least you being honest, okay?
right,
But you gave the community, you gave Texas Nation, the city, but more importantly, Deshaun Watson hope that hey, man, they may be Lewis Riddick, or
right,
it may be somebody else. They brought in the boy from Pittsburgh. I think he's a minority. I think he might
right,
be East Asian. But like you said, Rich, he had no intention. He had no intent. The other guys flew in his private jet. Okay,
right.
come on, man. No, this city's not. Listen, you have not only hurt Deshaun Watson, you've hurt this city. I hope you listen at the talk shows out there because they are burning you. They are ready to pull one of them things that happened in Washington a couple days. That's how mad these people are. I'm not saying people are going to do that, but that's how
Right.
schemed people are because you've lied to them. You've told them a lie. You've told Deshaun a lie. And Deshaun comes from a very Christian family. I don't know whether you know that, Cal. He went a couple years ago to Holy Land to get baptized. A lot of us Christians longer than that hadn't had that opportunity to do something like that. I made Monday get that opportunity. But hey, man,
Right.
this man was raised in a Christian family where they
Right.
told each other the truth. If it wasn't no light bread for his mom to make him a sandwich to take to school, she just told him, baby, you just gonna have to make do today. She didn't tell him, well, it's something in there, you just got to find it. Okay? She didn't do that. She said, baby, I'm working hard. We're gonna have some this afternoon when you get off from school. You got to tell kids like that the truth because if you tell them a lie, I mean, now he ain't gonna ever believe what you say. Even if he stayed with the organization, he's not gonna ever believe you because he's gonna figure you're trying to sell him a bill of goods. You can't do that.
Yeah, Pop. I don't think it could have been said better than that, man. But this is the type of mindset a lot of guys, especially when there's nepotism involved, and you have, and the Rooneys are one of the exceptions to this rule because obviously the Rooneys embedded in each individual that has anything to do with the organization of Pittsburgh. This is the way we're going to do things. This is the way we're going to conduct ourselves as an organization towards the fans, towards the players, towards the staff, towards everybody. Okay. And they got it. But this guy, he don't got it, Pop. All right, man, let's listen to some more.
While Nick was always high on our radar, we began a new search because we knew Nick was a well sought after candidate who had multiple options to pursue. It says a lot about our organization that he chose to be a Texan. I want to thank our advisors.
Again, you knew from the jump, and I meant to play this all in that first one, but you knew from the jump who you was going after. Okay. Um, I'm trying to get to 329 here, man. Let me keep rolling.
For their input in this process.
Okay.
Some of you have wanted to understand Jack Easterby's
Yes, we do.
role in hiring
Mhm.
Nick. There's no secret about Nick and Jack's working relationship in the past. Because of their professional history, I sought out Jack's feedback on Nick as a leader, as I did with others. during my decision process.
Now, here again is another issue that the city is dealing with when it comes to the issue at hand here, right? Jack Easterby. Now, here's the thing: everyone has made him the guy, the bad guy, and all this. To me, Cal McNair is that guy, and we can talk about that in a little bit. But Jack Easterby is a problem, Pop. He is a problem, man. And whether we know the underlying issues that are there where there's smoke, there's fire. You understand? I can't see it no other way. There's a problem with this man being in that building. There's something about this man. Now, this is supposed to be a man of the cloth, as you and I are. But man, there is something going on while they besmirching this man's character. I don't know what it is, but it seems to be something that is the common denominator of the issues and the tumultuousness that has gone on within this organization. So let me ask you this question, Pop. Do you think when they fired Bill O'Brien, they should have got rid of Jack Easterby?
Rich, Jack Easterby got rid of Bill O'Brien. Okay, Cal didn't have that much going upstairs, man. Okay,
Right.
so listen, man. I mean, he is running his organization. He really truly is. And I mean, he's probably laughing at everybody because he's saying, "Hey, they don't realize the power I got." He's in bed with
Right.
everybody, man. And so he was the one last year went to New England at a party ceremony New England was giving. Him and the new general manager huddled in the corner. He probably said, "Hey man, listen, we're finna make you the new GM and stuff. You down with that and stuff?" And he probably was like, "What? Yeah, man. We finna make you. We finna make you the new GM and stuff." And then when New England got word of it, that's when I think the Texans made Bill O'Brien the GM and stuff. But I mean, listen, man, Easterby got rid of Deshaun. I mean,
DeAndre Hopkins.
number 10. He got that. That was his doing, man. That was his doing. So trust me, this guy is a snake. And if you don't get him out your organization, I'm telling you, man, you're gonna be in the hole for a long, long time. But right now, let's face it, man, he in bed with everybody. He in bed with everybody. There was even when the Texans played the Colts up in Indy, there was a man and he was on the radio. He came on the radio. He had a sign that said, "Hey, Easterby is a snake. He got to go." Deshaun went over there and asked him to put it up. So he even got Deshaun Snow. Let's see what's going on, man. You know what I'm saying? Cal can talk about this not being New England's South, but it is. If you look at it, it is becoming New England South. And it didn't just start. This started about 8 or 9 years ago, okay? With O'Brien coming in. I think O'Brien brought in a little receiver from New England that tore his ACL. I think he played here and stuff in a game against the Texans. He was a receiver coach for a while. I mean, come on, man. This New England ain't the only organization and stuff that's been perennial winners and stuff. I mean, and so, not only that, Rich, and we'll talk about this, JJC, he see what's going on, man. He wasn't born last night. So, anyway, Easterby running stuff, baby. You better believe that.
Yeah, he might have been born tonight, but he wasn't born last night, right? So, yeah, man. All right, man. Two more clips.
We thank the New England Patriots, specifically Robert and Jonathan Kraft, and Coach Belichick, for being a first-class organization that builds winners. With respect to their organization, we do not consider ourselves the Patriots South. We are here to lead this team the Texans way.
Well, I tell you what, Pop, what you just said is exactly what he just said. Try to oppose, we're not the Patriots South. Well, who are you, my guy? Who are you? If you know the culture here needs to change, right? If you know your quarterback in whom this whole thing is wrapped around, if you know that he is unhappy with the culture and the culture has been New England centric, why would you hire another New England guy? What in your mind says, you know what? This is a good idea. And I appreciate you, Matthew Drummond, for watching, man. Share this link with your people, with your partners. I don't get this, Pop. now obviously he's listening to the media. He's listening in to the radio stations, podcasts, whatever. It's eating him alive. He prepared something to read to the people, a statement, because apparently that's what he's reading. You see his eyes moving. He reading something on some sort of teleprompter, or maybe he got something set up right there where he's reading off of it. Okay, but yes, you are Patriot South. As long as you keep that culture here, right? Just like they used to call the Texans what? They used to call us Denver South. Okay. Um, you have to change everything around, man. You have to create your own identity. And this is the thing. I know when you have a team, it's difficult to find an identity, especially if you don't come out winning early on, like the Ravens did, like the Carolina Panthers did, right? You don't have that, so you have to try to find it from other places. But this ain't the way, man. If you ain't figured this out yet, you're gonna keep spiraling down. And that's the only way I feel about it, Pop.
Listen, man, this organization has been in existence for almost 20 years. You have established your culture in 20 years, man. You didn't have to look to Denver. You didn't have to look to New England. Hey, let's be the Texans. Let's say, hey,
Right.
we're going to play good defense and we're going to throw the ball all over the field. That's what they do in Texas and stuff. They throw the high schools, the colleges. They throw the ball all over the field. Okay?
Right.
Let that be our identity. Let that be our culture. Instead, look to Denver. After that didn't work, you looked to New England. Rich, do you realize, and man, when I'm sitting here and I'm thinking that New England has won 2 Super Bowls in Houston, Texas? Did you realize that? You
2004,
did so.
2016.
Kraft and McNair has probably spent hours and weeks and stuff hanging out. But listen, they didn't mention TB12 because the New England culture. If you don't have TB12, buddy, you just another organization.
Right.
But you know, Bill Belichick, and I'm not taking nothing against Bill Belichick. He's a good football coach. But when you have a transitional player like a Tom Brady and stuff, man, then hey man, you ain't got to be no rocket scientist to figure that out. You know, Michael Jordan, Akeem Olajuwon, Jim Brown, Tiger Woods. I mean, those guys are special kinds of athletes. And although golf is is an individual sport, what I'm saying is I'm talking about the athletes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sitting there watching the game while we were going on. Reggie Branch, okay, that's our quarterback. They're in the semifinals right now playing against Liberty Hill. And I told some guys at work, I said, hey man, he's the reason that I said, without him, they don't even make the playoffs. Oh, he ain't no one-man show. Rich, the score is 4-7, and he got 14 points. Okay? That's all I'm saying, man. Some
Right.
guys just got that it. It's just like when Vince Young was at Texas, okay? Texas had some other good players, but Vince Young was a grown man, okay?
Right.
And when they beat USC in the Rose Bowl for the national championship, it was Vince Young, okay?
Right.
So,
Right.
I mean, you have those kind of athletes. You know, LeBron's that kind of athlete. You know, he been to the finals 9 out of 10 years? Come on. That's not accident. That's skill. That's talent. And so that's the thing that hurts me the most about this, Rich. You got Deshaun wrapped up. You got him signed. He's happy. I remember the day they announced it and stuff. They did a Zoom meeting with his family and stuff, and his family was all happy and stuff. They said, hey man, we so happy for you. You work so hard and stuff. And now they've almost torn that down, man. Rich, it's gonna take some doing to get him back because you've lied to him.
Right.
See, he probably was on that plane telling his girlfriend, so well, yeah, they're gonna interview B enemy, or they're gonna interview my boy John Doe. You know, I'm just throwing a name out there. And when he got
Right.
off the plane, he see it on social media that they this guy. He's devastated, man. You know what? And here's another thing, Rich. You're going to talk to him when you come back from vacation. You know what? If it was me, I would dispatch some brothers down there that I feel close to and stuff. And buddy, we would be down there. I wouldn't be waiting for him to get back to Houston. He may decide,
Yeah.
you want to come back to Houston. I'm going to sell my house, whatever. I'm phone. I'm talking this stuff. I'm just over there. Listen, man, can we meet and stuff? Because this is a critical thing, man. This thing is critical. So hey, we're gonna see how it play out, man.
Man, that's such a scary thing to think about. How is this thing gonna play out, man? And you just hope everything falls in the favor of Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. But man, it's looking crazy right now. And Pop, I got one more clip to play. This clip is a little lengthier. It's about 3 minutes, but this is vitally important. This is
Go
going
play.
to encapsulate everything we've talked about so far. So I'm gonna play this clip.
Okay.
Y'all bear with me. Here we go. If I can get to it. Okay, here we go.
You said that in your statement, and you said that today. But Deshaun Watson is frustrated. You've acknowledged him being frustrated. You guys traded DeAndre Hopkins in the last year. J.J. Watt said all season he's frustrated. Bill O'Brien, you gave him VM power, head coach power, obviously. You fired him for 4 games. And when I get emails, messages, when I look on Twitter, all I pretty much ever see anymore is sell the team or fire Easterby. And I know Twitter is Twitter, but how can you tell your fan base, this city, that the Texans are committed to excellence when all these things keep happening to the team?
That's a great question. Thank you for that, Brian T. Brian and I go back a few years. We did a bucket challenge together. I don't know if you remember, back when the ice bucket challenges were
Quit getting friendly with him and answer the question.
The thing going around, and he challenged me, and so I appreciate you. 2020 was a hard year for a lot of different reasons. The pandemic was a lot of challenges. The results, like I mentioned earlier, was not what we wanted. If you look at it, we had 10 one-score games. We lost all but 2, so we were 2-8 in the one-score games. And we do have a commitment to win and win the right way, and so changes were needed. If you look at remind you, it wasn't too long ago. In fact, last year we were planning for a game in the playoffs, and we had just a fantastic game with Buffalo right here, and we had 70,000 fans. They were energized, they're excited. It was one of the loudest games I've ever been to. Great game, and so I wouldn't say we're that far apart from where we were back then, because that was, like I say, like a year ago. 2020 was a tough year. We're looking forward to put it behind us. The way you make these changes, in my opinion, Brian, is right now we have a vision of, if you follow me for a second, of a wall. We're going to build a wall, and maybe you've heard this before, but it's going to be brick by brick. We're going to pick up a brick, put it down the right place, put the mortar around it, make sure it's set, make a great decision. Then we're going to go to the next one, and it's going to be day by day, making great decisions, getting this thing exactly where we want it, knowing that we're not far off from where we were. And I tell you, it's a great day to be a Texans, because this is a big brick. This guy sitting next to me, Nick Casario, has extreme competency, and we'll work together. We'll collaborate, cooperate, and that'll get us the fastest where we want to get to be, is by doing all that. And before you know it, you'll look back and we'll have built a substantial brick wall that we are all committed and proud.
I can't hear no more of that, man. He didn't even answer the question. Man. He tried to find the best way to kick the can down the road with that question. Whoever asked that question, they asked him clearly. Right? As a matter of fact, John McClain, he's going to be the first person to ask the first question. He was like, man, there's turmoil, right, within your organization. What are you going to do about it? That's the first thing that John McClain asked. And of course, they had a dress rehearsal before this thing came on about how they were going to answer the question. And I'm sure there was, reporters know how to ask questions in varying ways. to try to get the answer that they desire, closest to, or something close to the answer that they desire, so that they can, write out whatever they're gonna write out and make a story out of it. This is the problem that I have, Pop. Billionaires, right? You would think that having so much money, it would not be difficult for you to come on here and be completely candid with people. Yet you got to kick the can down the road. You got to say stuff like, we had 10 one-score games, even though we only we only won 2 of them. We had 10 one-score games. That's not answering the question. That's not answering the question. How can you expect to change the culture, right? The dude was clear. How can you expect to change the culture in Houston and you let Brian, he didn't mention this, but you let Brian Gain go after a season, okay? You fired your head coach. You put a guy who has no personnel experience into a general manager position when you fired your head coach, because you had made him the general manager, not to mention that, right? A guy that wasn't even qualified to do it, that didn't do anything to earn that position. Yet you put him in that position. He failed utterly, grossly, and miserably. I mean, how are you going to build a great culture like that? And this is what you're displaying. Pop, you are an avid fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Y'all don't work like this, man. Y'all don't work like this. What is it with Cal McNair that do you go ahead? Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing, Rich. When Art Rooney bought the Pittsburgh Steelers, actually he won them on gambling. Art Rooney knew then what he wanted to build. It took him a while. He had to go through a lot. He had to go through getting his butt kicked over and over and over again. And then they decided, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go out and hire a head coach who's a defensive-minded coach. And this is a steel city. This is a city that's working men, okay?
Right.
95, okay? We're going to be tough. We're going to play hard-nosed defense and run the football. And that is the reason that when he died, and he passed it on to his son, and when his son died, he passed it on to his son, the culture was established. When this man, when Art Jr. died, and they passed it on to one of the other son, his son, it won't change. Won't nothing change. The philosophy and the culture will be the same. And so, hopefully, somehow, somewhere, that the Texans will establish a culture, whatever it may be, and they'll stick with that from now on, man, because that's what you do, man. That when you find something that works, that's what you do. But to copy something from somebody else, or basically to try to take their personnel and stuff and try to build your culture, it doesn't work that way. It really truly doesn't.
Right.
Because New England was not a great organization 30 years ago, 40 years ago. They went to a Super Bowl or 2, but they got their brains beat out.
Yeah.
Until they got number 12. And I got to admit, man, it was a fortunate thing for them. That don't happen all the time. The 6th round pick and stuff come in and change the whole face of your organization and stuff. But you got here in town, you got a young man that's ready to change your culture, okay? And all you got to do is work with him. I mean, you ain't got to bow down to him, but work with him. Don't lie to him. Be honest with him. Keep it in the loop, okay? And again, Rich, I hate to keep saying this, but, I had one of those kind of players when I was at U of H, Tim Moore. And Tim Moore was my boy, man. And I mean, hey, I did things for Tim Moore I didn't do for everybody.
Right.
But I knew that the loyalty that I showed toward Tim would be reciprocated. Even the other guys, they know, well, hey, man, that's Tim the man. Tim the reason we winning. Tim the reason for this and for this. So I don't mind if Coach Wilson maybe, hey, take him out and get a burger and stuff, and bring us a bag of potato chips. You know what I'm saying? Because I know darn well that hey, when we get ready, when we're gonna go out and eat a meal somewhere because of Tim Moore. So that's all I'm saying, man. I mean, hopefully Tim listening and stuff, he don't mind me talking about him. I love him and stuff. But hey, that's real, man. When you got a superstar, it was no different with Akeem Olajuwon, man. Akeem Olajuwon was a superstar, but listen, man, he probably didn't say it publicly. But the Rap was giving him the other side, man. I mean, Rap was the #1 draft pick just like he was, but Rap wasn't giving him enough on the other side. He
Right.
didn't have enough shooting. He didn't trust his shooters. What they do? They went out and got some shooters. They went out and got Kenny Smith. They went out and got Mario Elliott. They went out and got Robert Ory. They went out and got Sam Cassell. They went out and got Kenny Smith. Now Akeem trusting the guys he got. Okay, he don't mind when you throw it to him down on the block and the double team comes and he throw it back out. Okay, I don't mind Kenny Smith hitting the long threes. I don't know if you can remember this, Rich, but Orlando, when they beat Orlando in the finals and stuff, it was Kenny Smith, man. They hit big
that long
shots
tray.
and stuff. Put them in overtime for them to win that game. Okay,
I remember.
like
Matter of fact, it went off the glass. It was a long tray. Go ahead.
Exactly. I'm finished. I'm just saying, if you got a superstar and they've shown you their loyalty, and Deshaun has shown you his. I do like Dak Prescott did in Dallas. Hey, I signed this contract, man. I want to be a Houston Texan. So he showed you his hand. Okay?
Right.
It's just like you show your wife sent me a picture today where y'all was playing cards and you had a deck, you had a hand, and Jamel had a hand. And you kind of looked at Jamel like he had the best hand, and you kind of like, hey man, so hey, he had to you showed your hand, he had the better hand. But in this situation, Cal said, well, no, man, I ain't showing you my hand. And so if I show you my hand, then you want to be like me.
Right.
So, now they got problems. Because, hey, let's face it, man. Let's face it. Deshaun is not returning phone calls. It's amazing, man. I mean, we got the same thing with Rockets. I'm like, man, what's wrong with our city, man? I mean, we can't get it together, man. And I mean, James Harden was in on the hiring of Silas and stuff. So I don't know, Rich. I don't know if it can be turned around. We're gonna see, man.
Yeah, with that being said, let me ask you this question, Pop. I'm gonna put this on the screen. And anybody that's watching, man, thank you, man. Thank you for watching. Share this link with your people, with your partners. Leave a comment, man. Subscribe to the channel. Is Kyle McNair the problem, or is it Jack Easterby?
Well, it's Kyle McNair because Kyle McNair is the owner. He makes the decisions. He pays the freight. Okay, so yeah, it's Easterby underhanding people in the organization. But what you got, Rich, is a young, rich man. Okay, that inherited this team from his dad and stuff. Okay, they don't know what he's doing. He don't listen, man. He was reading today. His speech was all read. So it wasn't nothing from his heart. Some of that speech for him, man. And so he basically just following, just reading. So I mean, come on, man. I mean, it's a situation where, you hate it for the city because this city deserves so much more, man. I mean, we deserve so much more in this city. I'm a Steeler fan, but I'm hurting. I know that this city is hurt. This city is crying tears, man, because the one thing you didn't want to lose was your franchise quarterback. It took you 15 years, 14 years to get this guy, and now there's a possibility you may have to give him up because, hey, man, people saying, well, he done signed his contract. Woo woo. Hey, he can force a trade. Trust me, it's a lot easier in football to force a trade than any other sport. Okay.
Oh, he hold the call.
Because hey, he can just sit out. You can find him, you can whatever. But hey, he don't have to come to camp, or he can say I'm hurt, or it's anything. So all I'm saying is this, man, is that when Cal made the statement that I think he said something about with me and mom And I said to myself, "Oh Lord," and nothing against Miss McNair. She followed a wonderful lady. I know she does a lot of civic things, but you need somebody football operations. You know what, man? No matter how this thing turns out, Rich, I wouldn't ever, if I'm Cal, I will never interview again. I'd let the general manager do that because he looked like he didn't know what he was talking about. He
Right.
looked like he just, somebody prepared a speech for him. He just read the speech. So, and people have been complaining about, well, Cal never says nothing. He never comes down and talks
Right.
and stuff. That's the reason why. Because he don't know how.
Yeah, he definitely had a hard time articulating himself. Good reason being why he had that thing written. And there's some issues there, man, that we probably don't know nothing about, man. But the bigger issue is the decisions that are being made in that organization, man, and it's having a great effect on the city of Houston, the fans, the players, and most importantly, number 4. But aside from all that foolishness, right? What do you think about Nick Caserio? Do you think he's a good fit here? Do you think that we should give him the benefit of the doubt? Or do you think this was a grave mistake?
Absolutely, Rich. I be giving him the benefit of the doubt. Okay, he's a lot. He has a lot of skill. He not know the first thing about talent, but I think he's the kind of kid that if what he don't know, he'll learn. He'll figure it out. I think he's
Right.
intelligent and stuff. I mean, you very obvious. You talked about this that he there was a particular player on the Texans and stuff when he came down. He worked him out personally and stuff. And so, okay, I'm with that. I can buy that. But all I'm saying is this: is that the people in this city, the media, the fans. I'm telling you, man, they every time you make a mistake, man, either with a personnel, a draft pick, scout, and it's the wrong person. These people are unforgiving, man. These people are very unforgiving. So when I'm hey, make sure you stay on your P's and Q's. Whoever your mentor is and stuff, make sure you checking in with it. Because like I said, man, people not gonna wait 5 years for you to turn this thing around. Okay, they'll
Right.
give you about 2, maybe 2.5. But if they don't see you headed toward a Super Bowl and stuff, baby, they're coming down on you. Coming down on you. So, I'm gonna give Nick the opportunity. I'm gonna give him his space. I'm gonna give him the time to figure this thing out. And I mean, starting off, behind the 8 ball, but you're not having a first and second round pick. Okay, but I'm telling you, man, it's a tough seat to be in. It's a tough to be in.
Right. Look, I agree with you, Pop. I think that we should give Nick Caserio the benefit of the doubt. I also heard Brandon Cooks was worked out by him too when he was finna go to the New England Patriots. That's a plus to me. Brandon Cooks is a really good player. Also, Nick Caserio is 45 years old, man. You know what I'm saying? He's a young dude, man. And he's been with their organization for 20 years. He was 25 years old when he started to get acclimated in the system. And he's been on the personnel side since 2008. Now, one of the things I was going to do today was make a case for Nick Caserio, but I decided against that because what we didn't know was what was going to happen today. I talked to you yesterday and said that, hey, I want to make a case for Nick Caserio being the general manager here, being as though if you put his statistics up with anyone that interviewed for this job and most of the general managers, most of the people that are candidates for general managers, this dude is head and shoulders above everybody else. That's why I think he deserves the benefit of the doubt, aside from him being in New England's culture. I think there's a difference between a personnel guy and a guy that's a coach, right? All the coaches that came out of New England did not fare well. Here's the thing. Bill O'Brien is not a bad coach, okay? And people might vehemently disagree with me when I say that.
No, he's not.
He's not a bad coach. You know what I'm saying? He takes a little something and does he takes a lemon and makes lemonade. Now the lemonade might not be great, right? But it's enough for you to, if you need to take some medicine, right? It ain't gonna just be horrible. But he's not a bad coach. He's probably the best coach that came out that Bill Belichick tree, aside from Romeo Crennel. I don't even know if Romeo Crennel's really out the Belichick tree, right? Because he was there a long time. He was, we talking before Bill Belichick even had a tree. So, with that being said, Pop, there are rumors that seem to be more than rumors that have been put out on the wire about, Deshaun Watson possibly being traded. Now, before I talk about that, I thought something funny happened. David Mulugeta, I can't pronounce his last name, but Deshaun Watson's agent actually tweeted about this. This is nepotism at its finest. He tweeted that today and actually took the tweet down. So he's paying attention. He's the one that told Deshaun, we need to send this smoke signal up in the air, because if they don't do things the way that you want to do them, you hold the cards. And if they're not going to do them your way, you're going to be able to force a trade and get up out of here. And I would hate that so much, Pop. But we have to be realistic in the way we looking at things. And if we looking at things realistically, there's a possibility that Deshaun Watson could be traded. Not only Deshaun Watson, because he's not the only disgruntled one in this whole, craziness that's going on. So is JJ Watt. He's disgruntled as well about all of what's going on. He has had cryptic tweets as well about his indignation for what's taking place within the organization that he plays for. So my question to you is, and to me, is what trades are plausible for Deshaun and JJ? Because me, man, I like to be proactive. I like to get ahead of this. I would hate with every bone in my body, every blood vessel, every nerve, every muscle. I would hate for Deshaun Watson to not be a Houston Texan forever. I would hate that, man, because you don't find guys like this, right? Like Patrick Mahomes. You don't find guys like this, Russell Wilson. These guys are extremely hard to find. Right? Y'all have one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. But y'all had a long stretch where y'all could have had Dan Marino. Y'all could have had Dan Marino and didn't have him. And y'all had second-tier quarterbacks who never got you where you needed to get to. You know what I'm saying? So this is the thing. A trade at this point. I didn't even think I would be fixing my lips to say this craziness. But a trade is definitely plausible right now. So I want to talk about, Pop, what are some destinations that Deshaun and JJ can go. Now, I'm going to tell you one off the rip that I think is there's only two places to me. I'm going to go first on this one. It's two places to me. I can't believe I'm talking about this, but we're going to do it. That Deshaun has to go. One, Jacksonville Jaguars. Why? Because they have the first pick in the NFL draft that's coming up here in the near future. And this is the only draft where at least, right, you don't know what you're going to get out of Trevor Lawrence, but at least he's that once in a generation in talent that you believe is going to come into this league, shine, be good, and possibly be great. And you need the number one pick, because if you get rid of Deshaun Watson, that better be the next person that you're getting. Okay. And so we can break that down, Pop. But that, I think, would beyond a shadow of a doubt, it has to be Jacksonville. Okay. And if it's Jacksonville, we need 3 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks, and we need to start with a player. We need to start with a player. And they got rid of all their good defenders. So we would need to start with a player. But I would start with Norwell, guard there. 3 first-rounders, 3 second-rounders. That's it, Pop. And I'll let you chime in on that, and I'll tell you who the other team is I think that we should trade for. Go ahead.
Yeah, Rich, I tell you what, man. If even if Deshaun didn't want to be traded, man, if I can get that tonight, I'd trade him.
Yeah, you traded him.
Man. Listen.
You traded for that? That's a lot, ain't it?
Jacksonville called me down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's got to be a nice package, man. It's got to be at least 2 ones and stuff. I mean, for sure, man. He's that good. He brings that much to the table. I mean, he's 25 years old. He's got 10 years to play and stuff, and probably 2 or 3 Super Bowls. So, I got to get at least 2, but it's gonna be hard, man, to get more than that because you really sacrifice, about 5 or 6 years draft picks, man. I mean, just look at the Texans.
Yeah.
You guys have gone 2 years. This will be your second year without a one. Okay, and look how much that has hurt you guys. And so all I'm saying is this, man, is that yes, he's worth all of that, but you're talking about a team in Jacksonville that's rebuilding, man. The rebuilding would have to stop. They'd have to do like what your owner was talking about today about them bricks and stuff. You'd have to wait for them to make some more bricks and stuff before they continue to with their reading stuff. So anyway, man, I mean, I hear what you're saying and stuff, but I it's got to be a good package though. I'm not taking anything for sure. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Okay.
Yeah. The second team is the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins have, I think, 6 picks in the first 42 picks. And one of those picks they have just happens to belong to the Houston Texans that we gave to them when we traded for Laramie Tunsil for 2 first-round picks, which was absolutely asinine. But we did it. And he's a good left tackle. He's probably great. But is he worth 2 first-round picks when you got your star-studded quarterback? I don't know. Because would you rather have one great left tackle and some mediocre to sucky offensive linemen that are next to him? Or would you rather have 5 decent offensive linemen? I think I would have rather had 5. I would have rather found a offensive tackle. First of all, they should have never got rid of Dwayne Brown. Let's start right there. Now, Pop, I know you jumped out the show, and I'm waiting on you to jump back in here, but they should have never gotten rid of Dwayne Brown because Dwayne Brown is still a top 10, top 15 left tackle in the league, okay? And he's up there in Seattle blocking Russell Wilson's blind side, and he could be down here doing that for Deshaun Watson, and we would have had the pick this year. Look, since Deshaun has been here, we've gone 4-12 twice. The first time he tore his ACL 6 games in, and he won 3 of those games. And what's the boy name? I don't even remember the boy name that was behind him, who started that season. Tom Savage won 1 game versus Arizona and lost the rest of them. And because we had traded a first round pick for Deshaun Watson, we didn't get to capitalize on having a losing season like that. So it was unfortunate because at least if you lose the one, you want to be able to have a good record, and which we did not have. And the second time was this year. This time Deshaun was healthy, but the parts around him were not good. So even though he did all that he could do, I mean, we talking about first in yards per throw, first in yards period with over 4,800 yards, 33 touchdowns. I think 70%, 71% completion percentage. Man had a heck of a year, but couldn't capitalize on it because the players around him wasn't good. And so now we ain't got nothing to show for it. Think about if we'd have had our first and second round picks this year. Think about that. We would have had 2 picks in the top 36 picks. Man, think about what we could have put around Deshaun Watson. But we traded 2 number ones for Laramie Tunsil. The trade, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it, man. It just wasn't. And I think that's showing through real good right here. Look, y'all, I don't know what's happening with my old man. Something went out on him, man. And so, with that, I'm going to close the show out. We've gone way longer than we normally do. just because this was a big subject, man, and there was a lot to cover. And there's still some stuff that we did not get to cover that we have here on the rundown. But this ain't over. This is not over. It's far from over. And I'm scared, and I mean afraid, frightened about what's going to be the outcome of this situation, not just with Deshaun Watson, but also with J.J. Watt. So, hey, before y'all get up out of here, like, subscribe, comment, and share this link with your people, with your partners, with your family. Thank y'all, man, for watching. Anyone that watches this show, appreciate you so much, man. Stick with us, man. We gonna keep growing, and as y'all help us to grow, man. You know what I'm saying? So, for me, J.R. Wilson, for my Pop Peen Wilson, we are the Solid Grip. Grace and peace to all y'all, man. Y'all take care.